and welcome to a review here at Total Toy Recon. My name is Bob, and I'll be your host as we break down the Mego Invisible Man figure. Now, this figure came out last year, and it may have even been the year before. Yeah, 2018. Little bit hard to come by. I'm a big fan of the Universal monsters, and Frankenstein, Dracula. I was able to find those when Mego released them in their initial wave. The Invisible Man was a little bit tougher, and we were able to locate it via a like an antique outlet kind of store. There was a toy dealer inside the antique store. That's why you're seeing this weird price tag for $11.95. Now, like I said, big fan of the Mego releases. When they brought them back, this was awesome. I really thought that this was the kind of toy that everybody would be clamoring to and finding, rediscovering in the best possible way. What is Mego? Why is it fun? Why is it collector? It seems to have fallen. The initial wave came out at Target. Now, Mego had partnered with Target, and the initial wave was very popular. You had Star Trek characters. You had Universal monsters. However, in that mix, you had unlikely characters such as members of the Brady Bunch. Yeah, members of the Brady Bunch. You also had characters from Bewitched. They had a Wizard of Oz release, but that was a good thing. I think the Wizard of Oz was a smart move. However, you were stuck with a bunch of oddball characters like Charlie's Angels. So you don't really think of Charlie's Angels being in the zeitgeist of pop culture at the moment. I mean, it'll always be there, but it wasn't something that was hot or coming out when they released the movie. There was a Charlie's Angels movie. It came and went with little or no fanfare. But there were not figures released just for that movie. These were the original TV shows. So Mego, if you do not know, has been around for decades. They disappeared for a while. All kinds of, they had financial problems. They couldn't compete with the Kenner Star Wars universe or Hasbro's G.I. Joe and Transformers. They kind of disappeared. Mego came back in 2018. They had a Comic-Con announcement. They released some Star Trek figures. Totally drove everybody crazy with their whetting the appetite of people. Now, this here is an original Mego Spider-Man. I don't know why his hands are beige. They should be red. But as you can see on the back, 1974 Spider-Man. So the body may have been repurposed. I got this at a flea market. A couple of years ago, and I thought he was in decent shape. But as I've done a little research on him, his hand should not have been red. So somebody might have popped this head and this costume off and applied him to something else. I never had Spider-Man as a kid. I did have Captain Kirk, and I still do. But that's its own review in itself. And we did actually get the new Spock and one of the new Kirks. And they're reviewed here on our YouTube channel, or on the YouTube channel, as you will. By the way, we also have a full review of Greg Brady and the entire wave of figures that came out from like Married with Children. There was another one. Why Married with Children? So today we are going to deal with the Invisible Man, who is part of the second-ish, maybe third-ish wave of Universal monsters. Now, as you can see here on the back, we're not really highlighting the other Invisible Man characters. We do have a trivia question. How does Griffin become invisible? There's Marty Abrams right there. And the answer is by altering his body refraction index to neither absorb or reflect light. Yes, he also used a certain kind of powder that was intermixed with things. So I decided that we're going to open this up. And if you don't know, all Mego figures are numbered. So here we have 967. It has come to a lot of more modern collectors that the number doesn't mean much. I think that there are numbers that if you have it on the package are significant. So if you got this the year that you got the number one, the numbered figure that was the year the Invisible Man book was published, or maybe the year the movie was released, kudos. Maybe the year that a figure came out. Again, just one of those things that I think it's entirely up to the collector. So if you were to get a Star Trek one, you'd want you'd want 1701. So I've talked a lot. Let's get to the figure. So we're going to open them up right here out of the plastic coffin. And let's see how Marty and the gang did. Now, there is a Facebook group called the Mego Ambassadors. And if you are fascinated with the Mego collecting, old and new, it is a great group to get into because they deal heavily with suggesting new product. A lot of new product is revealed there before anywhere else. And it is a great place to actually, indulge in this hobby. I think it's really, really nice. And I've been a member, I think, since it started, which was only back in like 2018 or 2019. So can't really hold the potion, but I like the potion. I like a lot of their accessories that they give them. So let's talk about the hands. So we do have clear hands. We have a clear face. Now, it does not look exactly like Claude Rains, and I think this is probably for licensing rights. So if you take here, let's see if the how clear he really is. And, oh, his arms are clear. Look at that. His legs. Ooh, look at that. See, that's a nice touch. His legs are clear. His feet are clear. And he's got rubber shoes, and he's got a nice little suit. So, very, very cool. He's very posable. He's already very action-based, if you can see it. And I do have a curved board here, but there he is, instantly standing. The head is nice, and it appears, now they do put Velcro here so we can look. The chest is clear, so you could basically get him out of this whole outfit. And he's head to toe clear. So that's awesome. These outfits are really cool. I have noticed that from time to time the Velcro here around the ties, it isn't exactly synced up, so sometimes it's a little bit out of whack. But these clothes are great. And the nice thing about Mego figures is the bodies are all the same. There's nobody that stands out as like, oh, they made the Hulk to scale in relation to the rest of the Mego. So you can interchange these, and with customizing of action figures being its own cult like group in itself, the Mego figures themselves, people have been making full armies of Star Trek characters, basing them on like one-off characters from the original series, which is really nice. Lately, if you're looking for these figures, I do recommend going into Walmart's collector section, and it's right near the video games. I've seen the Lord of the Rings. I've seen Freddy there numerous times, so it's a good place to go if you're looking for them. However, I never saw the Invisible Man outside of this antique store that we went to, and some comic book shops will order them for you. They are a little bit easier to find at collector-based stores because they're ordering them in bulk. It's the only way that they can really get them. They order a full case and they get everybody. So I think the costume is great, or the clothes are great. I really like the shoes, but as the Invisible Man goes, it's really neat. And this is great little extra thing here. Did you mention the likeness to the figure is based on? I did not, and I'm not 100% sure who it is. It actually looks like, almost like William Shatner, except the nose is a little bit straighter. It doesn't quite look like Griffin from the original film. Matthew, if you do know, please tell me because I would really like to know. But let's put him up here against some other characters. See how he looks. So I did break out. I was looking everywhere for my Frankenstein, but he may have gotten packed up with all the Halloween stuff. But here's the Wolfman. Nice figure. And then I did get the Bruce Lee. And I really, really wanted the Bruce Lee. And he's got the Enter the Dragon, like, body marks on him and stuff. So great figure. And, of course, we do have Greg Brady, who's still floating around here. I think Greg Brady would make a great custom Magnum PI if you put a mustache on him. Let me take a look at that. And then this is, like I said, the original 74 Spider-Man, which they do not have the rights to reproduce. But a lot of these figures have been... they've been re-released over the years in conjunction with Mego from like Diamond Select. So they've been able to bring figures out and characters. They redid Planet of the Apes once or twice, but these were back in the day. So modern collectors don't actually have them. And according to Matthew here on our Facebook Live, he has said they reuse the Al Bundy head. Well, why not? I mean, save some money. If it's not going to look like Claude Rains, then redo it. But as you can see here, it is a lot of fun. It is a great set. I mean, if you're going to do all the monsters, you might as well get the Invisible Man in there. And they have done other versions of Frankenstein and Dracula, and there's a lot of cool things out there. I do recommend checking sites like Entertainment Earth and Dorkside Toys and trying to find the characters that you really want. I hunted the Wolfman, Bruce Lee, diligently, trying to find them at Target when they were initially released, and they were tough. They were really tough. I think I just lucked out. I found Spock like 2 days before Christmas. Somebody either returned him or he was, back in the stock room. And I think I found Kirk like 2 days before Easter. Just lucked out. And I do have some of the Kiss dolls as well. I have Paul Stanley. So there are some really fun ones out there. And there are some ones that are just great for collectors. But I do recommend, if you can find them, The Invisible Man's a lot of fun. Not as much detail as movie accuracy as maybe the Wolfman is, but this Al Bundy Invisible Man, as I will now forever call him, it's great because he's totally clear. A great figure if you wanted to take fun photos of. You could pose him here and there and really make out with it. So this is Bob from Total Toy Recon. Thank you for tuning in. Slightly different today, we know. We're dealing with a Mego figure, which is our first since we started doing these daily reviews. And, we hope to find more Mego figures. It's just been a little bit difficult. So enjoy the rest of your day and stay safe.